Dear students, please I request all of you to look at the blackboard. What I have written, corticospinal tract. What is the meaning of this? Is I'll be talking about a pathway or neural pathway or tract which is present in the central nervous system, starts from cortex and will be terminated in spinal cord. That is why this is called corticospinal tract. This is called corticospinal tract. Will start from cerebral cortex and will be terminated in spinal cord. So if you have followed my discussion, my lecture on descending tract, already I have explained about upper motor neuron and lower motor neuron. So whole tract is made up by two neurons. One is upper motor neuron, another is lower motor neuron. Let us diagram. Here we see the diagram here. This is the cerebral cortex. Now here we have few important centers which are involved in regulating our muscular tone, regulating our posture, balance, equilibrium. We are walking, running, so every time our balance is being maintained. How our balance is being maintained? हम जब चलते रहते हैं, दौड़ते रहते हैं, हम जब खड़े रहते हैं, कुछ मसल जो है, जैसे मैं खड़ा हूँ, कुछ मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग कंडीशन में है, कुछ रिलैक्सेशन कंडीशन में है. So every time there is an involvement of descending tract. So this is a main tract, corticospinal tract. So first we must understand the centers which are involved in controlling this tract, how this tract is controlled, how this tract is involved in regulating our functions. Functions means I am talking about movement, I am talking about posture, I am talking about equilibrium, how it is maintained. Now here this is the central sulcus, and here in this central sulcus we have the areas, that is primary motor cortex. Primary motor cortex. This is central sulcus. Central sulcus. Now this central sulcus, we have the primary motor cortex, then we have another center. We have another centers here. That is premotor cortex. This is premotor cortex. And then we have another supplementary motor area. We have supplementary motor area. Now these are the areas which are involved in controlling the corticospinal tract. There is another more area we must mention here, that is primary sensory area. This is the primary sensory area. The 60% of this area is involved in controlling the motor function. Now coming to the another important area here, that is the prefrontal cortex. That is the frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex. मैंने कुछ सेंटर के बारे में जानकारी दी, वो यही है कि वन इज प्राइमरी मोटर कॉर्टेक्स, अनदर इज प्री मोटर कॉर्टेक्स, then another is supplementary motor area and the primary sensory area. So these are the areas. Say this is the number 1, then 2, 3 and 4. So these 4 areas are involved mainly in controlling the corticospinal tract. There is another area I have drawn here, prefrontal cortex. Now let us try to understand why I have written prefrontal cortex. मान लीजिए कोई काम करना है, जैसे मेरे को अभी लेक्चर लेना है, तो फर्स्ट व्हाट इज कमिंग इन आवर माइंड, एक प्लान आ जाता है कि आई हैव टू टेक द लेक्चर. तो लेक्चर एट द टाइम ऑफ टेकिंग लेक्चर आप देख रहा है कि मेरे को ये देखना पड़ रहा है कि मेरे को खड़ा कहाँ होना है, मेरे को चौक पकड़ना है कि नहीं है, मेरे को पेपर पकड़ना है कि नहीं है. तो एक प्लान होता है, पहले एक प्लान की प्लान ओरिजिनेट होती है. वन प्लान इज ओरिजिनेटेड, एक प्लान पहले आता है, उसके बाद उस प्लान को हमें सोचते हुए हमें आगे बढ़ना है कि हाउ वी कैन डू दिस वर्क. पहले प्लान, दिस प्लान इज प्रीफ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स, दिस इज द एरिया ऑफ अ प्लान इज जनरेटेड. Then execution of this plan, this will inform to this and this. प्लान पहले जनरेट होती है, उसके बाद दिस प्लान हैज टू बी एग्जीक्यूटेड. उसके लिए दिस एरिया विल इन्फॉर्म all 4 areas. Then we have another important area, that is the below this is the nuclei, we call it basal nuclei. Here we have caudate nucleus, we have putamen. After thinking, after having the plan, this has to be executed. So information will go to the basal ganglia, and then this information will go to the sensory area. Now coming to the important point to be remembered. जो भी हमें करना है, फर्स्ट हमें ये पता होना चाहिए कि हमारा हाथ कहाँ है, हमारा पाँव कहाँ है, हम कहाँ खड़े हैं, ये होना चाहिए. ये जो इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोप्रियोसेप्टिव इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, दिस प्रोप्रियोसेप्टिव इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रू एफरेंट, this will first reach to the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum. So all proprioceptive information is coming to the cerebellum. Cerebellum is coming to know about our initial position. If we know initial position, then only we can do it nicely. Yes, I will have to perform this work. Now what will happen, whatever happening here, that at the same time the information is coming to the primary sensory area. So what I want to say is, as soon as we are having the plan, the plan is informed to the 4 areas. Then there is a final signal coming and executed by the involvement of basal nuclei, as well as information is coming from the cerebellum also. And then the final output is being conveyed through corticospinal tract. So फिर से मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, प्री फ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स में एक प्लान बनती है. बनने के बाद दिस प्री फ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स, ये जो 4 एरियाज है, प्राइमरी सेंसरी एरिया, देन प्राइमरी मोटर कॉर्टेक्स, देन प्री मोटर कॉर्टेक्स, then supplementary motor areas. Every area has got specific function. ये जो सप्लीमेंट्री मोटर एरिया एक्चुअली इज इन्वॉल्व for doing the primitive type of movement of trunk. Primitive type of movement is done by the supplementary motor cortex. Let us forget all these things. Our aim is to talk on corticospinal tract. So whatever we have decided to do the work, first plan is coming on prefrontal cortex, then this will be executed by first stimulating or involving all four areas, and then this will go to the basal ganglia for final output, as well as the information also coming from the cerebellum. Cerebellum has been informed already about the proprioceptive sensation where our हाथ पा and accordingly we will have to decide और कैसे हमारा movement होगी. So this will go to the also at the same time this will go to the primary motor cortex, and then there is a stimulation of corticospinal tract. Now coming to this diagram here, the cells cell bodies of corticospinal tract, that is the pyramidal cells. These pyramidal cells then is involved in sending the fibers. pyramidal cell से फाइबर आती है, then like this is called corona radiata. Then through internal capsule, this fiber through internal capsule, this is the thalamus. Through internal capsule this will come down. Then here we have the midbrain. This will come down. Now what will happen? These are the nuclei. Pontine nuclei is there. This pontine nuclei actually is they are informing the cerebellum, which is on other side, and that is through middle cerebellar peduncle. All this is the right side and this is the left side. So this is the pontine nuclei getting information from the getting information from the proprioceptors, and then information is relayed to the cerebellum, all areas of the cerebellum. Proprioceptive information is there. So the cerebellum is informed about our position of the hand, position of the leg, like this. उसके बाद क्या होता है? उसके बाद ये जो आप ट्रैक्ट देख रहे हैं, the descending tract, corticospinal tract, this will give collateral to these fibers. This will give the collaterals to the pontine fibers. So there is a fibers get scattered here, and then again all these fibers will be condensed. So all fibers get scattered and then again fibers gets condensed. all fibers get condensed, and it will move to the medulla. This will enter into the medulla. Then here we have the cross cerebri. Here in the medulla we have cross cerebri. Through this will move through cross cerebri of the medulla, and then the 85% fibers will be crossed. This is 80% fibers. 80% fibers will be crossed here. 80%, and remaining 20% will go and will move towards anterior column. मैं फिर से रिपीट करना चाह रहा हूं कि ये जो corticospinal tract, it's a major tract coming under descending pathways. इसमें मैंने बता दिया कि थोड़ी सी सुनने के लिए कोशिश कीजिएगा. ये जो पोंटाइन न्यूक्लियाई है, these pontine nuclei already they are receiving information through afferent pathway. They are receiving information, and then this information about proprioception, this information is displayed through middle cerebellar peduncle, and it is going to all areas of the cerebellum. This is cerebellum, all areas of the cerebellum through pontine nuclei, and this pontine nuclei actually right is giving information to the left cerebellum, left pontine nuclei is giving information to the right cerebellum. So this is the middle cerebellar peduncle, this is the superior cerebellar peduncle, and we have the inferior cerebellar peduncle. This is inferior cerebellar peduncle. So here we have three peduncle. One is superior cerebellar peduncle, then middle cerebellar peduncle. So मैं जो बता रहा हूं, जो इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोप्रियोसेप्शन रिलेटेड जो इंफॉर्मेशन आ रहा है, where our hand is, where our leg is, ये जो प्रोप्रियोसेप्टिव इंफॉर्मेशन आ रहा है, ये इंफॉर्मेशन पोंटाइन न्यूक्लियाई का आ रहा है. तो ये राइट पोंटाइन न्यूक्लियाई है. ये दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू द cerebellum through middle cerebellar peduncle, and all areas of the cerebellum is informed about the proprioception. And again, this is the left pontine nuclei getting information and supplying to the right cerebellum, all areas of the cerebellum. Now we are talking about corticospinal tract. So this bundle is coming down, and here the fiber is having a link with the pontine nuclei, and the arrangement is scattered type of arrangement, and then again this fibers are condensed. Fibers are scattered, and then again all these fibers get condensed and coming down. Now coming down here in the medulla, what is happening? 80% of the fiber, 85% of the fiber, 80% of the fibers get crossed and supplying to the lateral column of the spinal cord, This is the lateral column of the spinal cord. This is 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 lateral column of the spinal cord. Now this 80% fiber get crossed here in the medulla, and then it is coming down, and then it is controlling the cell present in the anterior horn. Here we have the cells. The anterior horn of the spinal cord. Having the cells, or we call it ventral horn of the spinal cord. And this ventral horn of the spinal cord is controlled by the fibers. These fibers, 80% of the fibers gets crossed and terminated or going through the lateral horn of the spinal cord, and the branch is controlling the cells of present in the ventral horn. So this is the upper motor neuron. Again, I am telling you, this is upper motor neuron, and this upper motor neuron is terminated here. From here, what is happening? From here we have alpha motor neuron, and from here we have gamma motor neuron supplying the muscle. This muscle is having extrafusal fibers, and these muscles are having intrafusal fibers. Now, what type of distribution is there? This alpha motor neuron will control the extrafusal fibers, and the gamma motor neuron will control the intrafusal fibers. So, whatever we are talking about movement, the corticospinal tract, it is the descending tract, and the main function of this corticospinal tract is on muscular contraction, relaxation, posture, balance, equilibrium. And again, corticospinal tract, once it is connected to the autonomic nervous system, means all type of smooth muscles, glands, all are being controlled by the corticospinal tract. So what I want to say here is, I am talking about 80% of the fibers are crossed and they are terminated. They are moved through the lateral column. So that is why this fiber is called lateral corticospinal tract. This is also lateral corticospinal tract. Lateral because these 80% fibers are moved through lateral column and they are terminated in the anterior horn of the spinal cord or ventral horn of the spinal cord. Now remaining 20% fibers, this is 20% fibers, they are terminated, they are moved through the anterior column. This is anterior column. They are moved through the anterior column, and these fibers are terminated to the opposite side of the ventral horn. So this is the right anterior column, and this fiber is terminated on left ventral horn, left side ventral horn. They are terminated. Here also the same thing. They are terminated in the left side of ventral horn. Now from this also fiber which are moved, through this, they are terminated here on opposite side. Here also fibers are controlling the opposite side of the ventral horn. So here the fibers are terminated and going to and supplying to the opposite side, controlling the opposite side. Here the fibers are crossed. Crossing यहाँ पे कहाँ पर हो रही है? स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में क्रॉसिंग हो रही है. ये जो 20% फाइबर्स जो है, ये क्रॉसिंग हमें देखने को मिल रहा है स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में, लेकिन ये जो 80% फाइबर ऑलरेडी क्रॉस्ड हो चुका है मेडुला में. तो क्रॉस्ड होने के बाद, जैसे मैंने कहा है, दिस इज लैटरल कॉर्टिकोस्पाइनल ट्रैक्ट, और ये जो एंटीरियर कॉलम हम देख रहे हैं 20% फाइबर्स, इसको कहते हैं एंटीरियर corticospinal tract. So ultimate aim is to control the activity of alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. In my next video, please watch my video where I will be talking about muscle spindle reflex, Golgi tendon reflex, all reflexes, and how our balance is being maintained with the help of alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. So there is a very good combination, cooperation between alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. So whenever there is a stretch, if you stretch the muscle, you can see the contraction. So here, this stretching and the contraction, actually that is the combination effect of alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. So we can see this effect nicely, and that is the function of corticospinal tract. This corticospinal tract, actually ultimately this tract is responsible for our balance, for our muscle contraction, for head, neck movement, and everything. We have skeletal muscle, we have cardiac muscle, we have smooth muscle. So all muscles are being controlled by the corticospinal tract. This corticospinal tract, again, if I repeat, it is divided into two. One is lateral corticospinal tract and another is anterior corticospinal tract. So I have told you about, in this video, I have told you about what is the origin of the corticospinal tract, and then how it is distributed, how it is moved, and then ultimately how it is controlling the muscles. So all the way I have given you the information how it is distributed and then how it is controlling the muscles. Hope all of you will be able to understand if you watch this video, and if you really concentrate on this video, you can understand. Please subscribe so that I will have enough spirit to go forward. Thank you.